Hi everyone, Petrik here. For today's video, it will be my December TBR. So this is the last TBR video for 2021. Yes, we are at the end of the year. Every time I make a TBR video, it always dawns on me that time moves really fast. It's crazy. But, well, this is all the books that I'm going to read. Hopefully, before the end of the year, I plan to read about 4 or maybe 6 books. I usually don't read a lot of books in December because, well, I've been reading non-stop always from January until December, and I try to not read too much in December, and I just use December usually as a month of recharging my reading energy. That way I can avoid a reading and writing review slump when I enter the new year. And also for the first time within this year, I want to try to release 3 videos within a week. I want to try it for the entire month. I've been consistent this year in posting 2 videos per week, and sometimes 1 video sometimes. Unless you count the time when I went to surgery, but come on, that's understandable, right? But this month I want to try posting 3 videos a week. Let's see if I can do that or not. As for the books that I want to read within this month, this is what I would call the month of conclusion. So I will be reading mostly a conclusion to a series. And the first one that I want to read is The Bone Ship Wake by R.J. Barker. This is the 3rd and final book in the Tie Child trilogy, a series that I'm really grateful that I gave this series another try. Some of you may recall that I gave The Bone Ship a read, and it was a bit disappointing to me on my first read. I gave it 3 stars, 3 out of 5 stars. That's a huge difference as compared to the Wounded Kingdom trilogy. I gave the entire trilogy, each book in the trilogy, I gave them all 4.5 out of 5 stars. They are consistently incredible and character driven for me. But the first time I tried The Bone Ship, it was surprising. My expectation was so different. I didn't expect that the book would be so different, but I'm really glad that I gave this series a try again. The first book on second read was incredible, and the second book, Call of the Bone Ships, I will talk about this more in my wrap-up, but this was even better than the first book. And now I'm hoping that the 3rd book, The Bone Ship Wake, I've seen a lot of people praising this one to be the best of the series. I'm hoping that this will indeed be the best of the series for me. If this is similar to the Wounded Kingdom trilogy, King of Assassins was the best book of that trilogy. So yeah, hopefully this will be the same case, because if this proves true, then R.J. Barker will be known as one of the most underrated authors who can always nail a fantastic conclusion. Then the second book that I want to read in the month of December is again another conclusion, and this is The Fall of Babel by Josiah Bancroft. This is the 4th book in the Books of Babel series, a series that I've been enjoying so much. I just finished my second read of The Hot King 2 days ago, and well, it's again the best of the series. The Hot King is incredible. It's unpredictable. Even though this is my second read, I still found it to be so intense and emotional. And I honestly have no idea how the story will conclude. I genuinely have no idea at all. I'm so excited to be reading The Fall of Babel. I have actually pre-ordered this book, the physical book, but it hasn't arrived yet. Hopefully it will arrive really soon because I want to read it in physical format if possible. And then the 3rd book that I want to read in the month of December is Leviathan Falls by James S.A. Corey. This is it. This is the final book in the Expanse series, book number 9. I have been looking forward to reading this one for, well, since last year. And not only that, I also look forward to watching the 6th season of the TV show adaptation. Personally, I think the TV show adaptation is actually better than the books, but the books are great. The books are great. It's very character driven, and book number 8, Tiamat's Wrath, proved to be the best of the series so far for me. And I'm hoping that this, the final book in this space opera series, a very popular and highly praised series, will be the best of the series for me. I'm really hoping that will be the case because I love The Expanse, I love Daniel Abraham's book, and I love James S.A. Corey's books. And the cover art by Daniel Doshu is so good throughout the entire series. It is so good. And Daniel Doshu also did the cover art to Age of Ash by Daniel Abraham. Wow, this one, both of this, I am so looking forward to reading this. I have actually the e-arc of Age of Ash now, but I don't think I will be able to get to it within this month. I think I will be reading this in January instead. But yeah, I'm looking forward to reading Leviathan Falls very much. And then the 4th book, and maybe the last book that I'm going to read within this month, is Warlord. This is the final book. This is the final book in the Lost Kingdom series by Bernard Cornwell. This will be the conclusion to Uhtred's tale, and well, I have nothing else to say now. I felt mixed about this series. Seriously, the book number 12, I think was the weakest of the series, and I will be talking about that more in my wrap up. But yeah, this is the final book. I really hope that this will deliver at least a great conclusion, because everything starting from book 6 has been very mixed for me. There were some things that I really enjoy, but it has gotten so repetitive, honestly speaking, and I don't like saying this, but they really felt like cash grab, especially book number 12, Sword of Kings. Yeah. Also, for those of you who haven't seen this hardcover, I want to show something. This cover art is gorgeous, right? But you should see the naked hardcover. This one, it looks like this. Hold on. So here in the naked hardcover, you can actually see each book in the series, their titles printed on it. Look, it is so gorgeous, and it is the reason why I purchased this book without even starting reading the series. I immediately purchased it because I saw this on Twitter, and I immediately bought it. It is so cool. I don't have any book like this. And although I felt mixed about reading the series, I think the TV show is actually better than the books. But, well, I'm hoping that this one will deliver a satisfying conclusion. Speaking realistically, that's the 4 books that I'm going to read in the month of December. Yeah, I think I'm going to end up only reading 4 books, but if it's possible, I want to read 2 more books. And the first out of those 2 is Spinning Silver by Naomi Novik. Yeah, I think I have mentioned this several times now that Uprooted is probably the worst book, probably the worst novel that I've ever read. Everything about that book, except for the quality of the prose, really didn't click for me. Everything. But I've heard from a lot of people who dislike Uprooted that Spinning Silver worked for them. That includes Elliot Brooks as well. So I'm going to believe in their recommendations, and this one was gifted by my friend Mary. Thank you so much, Mary. And it has such a gorgeous cover art. I love this cover art so much. It's done by Nico Delort, one of my favorite cover artists, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed, seriously, that the content of this book will be as good as the cover art. Please, for the love of God, because if this doesn't work for me too, I don't think I will be reading more Naomi Novik. That being said, I'm still not sure I will be able to get to this one within this month. If not, this will be the first book that I read in the month of January, for sure. And for those of you who don't know about this book, this is the official synopsis of Spinning Silver. Miriam is the daughter and granddaughter of moneylenders, but her father's inability to collect his debts has left his family on the edge of poverty, until Miriam takes matters into her own hands. Hardening her heart, the young woman sets out to claim what is owed and soon gains a reputation for being able to turn silver into gold. When an ill-advised boast draws the attention of the king of the Starik, grim fairy creatures who seems more ice than flesh, Miriam's fate and that of 2 kingdoms will be forever altered. Set an impossible challenge by the nameless king, Miriam unwittingly spins a web that draws in a peasant girl, Wanda, and the unhappy daughter of a local lord who plots to wed his child to the dashing young Tsar. But Tsar Mirnatius is not what he seems, and the secret he hides threatens to consume the lands of humans and Starik alike. Torn between deadly choices, Miriam and her 2 unlikely allies embark on a desperate quest that will take them to the limits of sacrifice, power, and love. So yeah, that's the premise of this book, and I just realized, look at this. So apparently it's silver here and it turns into gold here. Oh wow, that's beautiful. I just found out about this, and I'm sure after I read this book I will spot more details, because there seems to be a lot of details in this cover art. Seriously, I love this cover art so much. And the last book that I'm going to read in the month of December, if I have the time, otherwise this will also go into the month of January, it is Illborn by Daniel T. Jackson. This is the first book in the Illborn saga. I have talked about this book quite a few times on the channel now, and as I said, just reading the prologue already captured my attention towards this book so much. So this is just a matter of time. So it's either December or January. Basically, I have 2 options here: end the year with a bang or start the year with a bang, because I know that this one will be awesome. I'm quite confident about this because after reading a lot of fantasy books, I think just reading the prologue or the first few chapters, usually you can immediately know whether a book will work for you or not. And I think this one, Illborn, will click for me. So yeah, these are all the books that I want to read before the end of the year. And do you spot anything interesting? Please do let me know which books are you going to read before the end of the year. As always, thank you so much for watching, and thank you for your support. Bye bye.